there, it's Andrew Murray here, and welcome to the 60-Day Marketing Transformation. What I want to do today is teach you how to talk to prospects. When you're talking to a prospect, what I like to do is I like to generate leads so they're opting in and seeing some kind of webinar first. And I like to get on the phone with them, and I usually ask them if it's a good time to talk, if they have a few minutes, because you don't want to catch someone at the wrong time. People usually say yes. And then, I will, ask them what they liked best about the webinar. I ask them if they saw the whole thing. And I also want to get them talking about themselves. So I ask them, what they're doing. I'll say, tell me your story. And that's a good line because what happens is they'll tell you what's most important to them. So they might tell you about their job, which is great. If they don't tell me about their job, then that's something I usually ask for as well. And I usually say so what are you doing right now? What are you doing in the real world? That kind of thing. If it doesn't come up. The other thing is when people are talking to you, you want to listen. You want to find out what their hot buttons are. What their story is, right? So their story, the other part of that is they may tell you what they've done in the past. I always find that really helpful because I know if they've done, network marketing or before in the past, or they've done, high ticket, or they haven't done anything before, that's going to give me cues on what kind of language that I should use, what I should emphasize, and that kind of thing. And the other thing that you want to do when you're talking to prospects is you want to control the conversation in the sense of pinning them down to a time, right? So if I call someone, they haven't watched a webinar, I'll find out what they do, and then I'll say, are you going to have time to watch that tonight? When should I touch base with you? That kind of thing. And you don't want to answer a lot of questions about the business, when you're just talking to someone, because you want them to really go through the presentation first, whatever your company is, whatever the best presentation is. And when you're ending the conversation, I usually say something like, how does that sound, or is that fair? Here, and I'll give them a command, an embedded command. I'll say, so you go, you watch the webinar, and I'll call you tomorrow. Does that sound fair? I'll call you tomorrow at 12. Does that sound fair? Is that cool? And when you do something like that, then you're really kind of ending the conversation, but you're also getting a subtle commitment. The other thing that's really important is when you follow up with prospects. When you follow up with them, you don't want to be afraid to call them. You want to connect with them, call them, engage them as many times as you need to. And sometimes I'll just make up a reason to call them, just touch base with them and just say, yeah, I'm just in the middle of something, but I just wanted to give you a quick call. I had a couple seconds, and then get off the phone. Because when you create multiple contacts, particularly over the phone, it really puts you in the area of being a master connector, a master prospector, a master relator. And those are all things that will generate income for you. So I hope those tips were helpful on how to talk to prospects. The other thing is, if someone asks you a question about your company and you don't know, that's fine. Just answer confidently. It's the tone of your voice that they're gauging. And if you don't have a strong tone of voice, and you sound unsure of yourself, that's a death knell. Okay, that's what you need to master. Someone can ask me, about the compensation plan. I'll say, I've never been asked that before, but I'm not worried about it. I'm not concerned about it. I'll get you the answer. That's what I'll say. I'll find out for you. And when you do something like that, you're conveying confidence. And people are looking for leaders. They're looking for someone who can help them, someone who's strong, and who's going to be able to bring them up from where they are, right? And if you don't convey that to your prospect with your tone of voice, then you really need to, and you should study everything in the 60-day marketing transformation so you can drop little tidbits about marketing so they'll think you know a lot about marketing. Okay. And the thing is, I mean, you probably know a lot more than them. So use that, be confident about it, and if you do that, you should have no problem talking to prospects and no problem enrolling. The other thing is when it comes to enrolling, there comes a time where there's a pause in the conversation. And at that point, you jump in and say, so, are you on your computer right now? And then I just start walking them through the enrollment process. And, 8 times out of 10, it just goes smoothly without a hitch, because they're ready. So you listen for that. The other thing that you need to know is when not to talk. So when you're enrolling someone and you've got that commitment, don't keep selling it. Go for the close. Just go right into it. Roll with it. I know it could be uncomfortable at first, but you'll become more comfortable with it. Don't be afraid of the silences. Those are my tips for prospecting, for how to talk to prospects. And there's a lot of great nuggets. It took me a long time to learn in this short video that I just recorded for you. So I hope you watch it a couple times and just get all the benefits out of it. Thanks.